new debate after the U.S. Marine Corps delays a physical fitness mandate for female Marines. It was supposed to start January 1st of this year. The rule required all females in the Corps to be able to do a minimum of 3 pull-ups. Well, it was delayed after they realized that more than half of the female recruits were unable to do it by the end of boot camp.
For females to get a maximum score, execute 8 pull-ups. For males to receive a maximum score, execute 20 pull-ups before you drop off the bar.
Joining me now for a fair and balanced debate, 2 people who actually work together. Gunnery Sergeant Jessie Jane Duff, she served 20 years on active duty in the U.S. Marine Corps, and Pete Hegseth, who's an Army veteran of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars and founded Concerned Veterans for America, of which Jessie is a part, but they do not see eye to eye on this issue. Jessie, you say the test itself is unfair. Why? Because a lot of people are thinking, I'm not one of them, three pull-ups should be able to do that.
Well, what I have a problem with is what makes it unfair is that the Marine Corps set this abstract standard without any research. They just set it out there. So when you have a year passing and not any of 50% of the females graduating from recruit training without successfully completing this, what have you done wrong? That's like setting out a math exam and then 50% of your students fail. What happened? So the Marine Corps was very irresponsible, not setting forth a strategy to ensure that the women were successful at this mission. That's where I have a big problem with this. Don't set out standards without backing it up and ensuring that your females are capable and able before it becomes an embarrassment to the entire Marine Corps.
Pete?
Well, Megyn, I would say, what do you expect? They didn't pick the number of 3 pull-ups out of the air. They picked it because it was the minimum standard for men. And if you're demanding equality, you're going to take, rather than lower the standard, you're going to go to the male standard, which the minimum standard was 3 pull-ups. So if you want men and women to be treated the same way, which is what our military, our Pentagon, our Marine Corps are, then you're not going to lower the standard. You're going to go to the minimum standard for men, which is 3 pull-ups. Now we're reaping what we sow in this. 50% of women are not passing it. I think Jessie and I would agree that if you want to treat men and women the same, that's great, but you can do it in more combat units that are going to be carrying some of the more direct burden on the battlefield, as opposed to across the board when men and women have always had some level of different standards as it pertains to initial entry into the Army and Marine Corps.
You know, Jessie, some people are talking about how women are not raised to develop their upper body strength in the same way men are. I mean, from the time we're in school, they have different sort of activities and so on that they push men into to build that part of their body, as opposed to women. And so there may be some delay built into the system as women realize what they need to do in order to hold these combat roles.
Exactly. Women have 20% less upper body strength, so that's a reality right there. I am not going to ever say that women cannot do 3 pull-ups, but what I have a problem with is that when you're going to set this goal and you don't have the proper training in place and you're having recruits go to boot camp who are not receiving the training, you need to take a look at yourself and look hard in the mirror. What are you doing? These are females that are going on active duty. They should go through first phase, second phase, and third phase of recruit training. It's 12 weeks. By the time they complete that training, they should be able to knock out those 3 pull-ups. What did the Marine Corps do? Set these females up for failure? Because if it's an abstract goal, that's what they did not do. Evaluate the stamina of every female.
Go ahead, Pete.
But it's not about training. It's about literal physical differences. I have an immense amount of respect for women like Jessie Jane, who have served 20 years in the Marine Corps, served this nation, and they add an immense amount of value to what our nation does. But at the end of the day, as a platoon leader myself in Iraq, I want to have a guy or a person who's capable of crawling over that wall, of dragging that heavy guy off the battlefield. I don't care about equality. I want standards. I want excellence. I want combat effectiveness. And so trying to pursue equality, pursuit of making everyone feel good. In this case, well, big surprise, it's cutting women out of capable roles in the Marine Corps because we're setting arbitrary standards. It is us falling over ourselves for equality as opposed to caring about having the best fighting force we can have.
I got to go, but so I need a quick answer on this, Jessie. But why are you saying yes to that? So what's the solution if you agree with what you just said?
Well, the reality is it's a fitness test, and when you're going to grade fitness, you have to take into consideration gender and stamina and age, and they're not doing that now. They're making us all equal, which is making it irrelevant course.
But fitness obviously correlates to combat. You got to fit. You want someone capable of that physical.
Yeah.
Well, the Marines have a combat fitness test.
3 pull-ups are a lot harder than they look. That's for darn sure. I would have, but I didn't want to show anybody up.
Come on, Megyn.
Yeah, right. It's been a long time since I've seen the gym. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Thank you, Megyn.
But in my head, I'm capable of doing it.